A CTY name Raccoon is shown. This is a small town. These was an experiment fying on secretly. A corporation has done many experiment types de research there. The doctors have used those experiments on the kids like this. They have taken the lives of Oxfam kids df that city. One day, the doctors turn into zombies. Experiments with it. The zombie virus starts spreading in the city. The city owner gives orders to finish the city. This story starts at 12:00 it finishes at 6 a.m. All the doctors of the corporation have become zombies. Only Dre William was left fine. This doctor does illegal experiments on orphan kids. He has done and one experiment. The girl doesn't die or her mental condition also remained fine. But her body's condition was worse. Further, 2 kids are shown live in the orphan hostel d this city performing on a girl. Tit was fail. The kid sees a girl in the hostel at night. Her face and body were terrible. Even then the girl Claire doesn't scare her. She coos na her on whom doctor she was the same girl has dong the failed experimenter due to it. Her was ruined completely. The girl gives body some thiang to Claire after writing it on a page. Claire didn't understand it. The girl lives in a small tent made in Thath house. Claire goes inside the tent and discovers many toys there. They were strange and terrible. Meanwhile, Dr. William comes and holds her. He asks her, "Why did you come here?" Her brother arrives and says habit to Walt in asleep at night to the doctor that Claire has Q. The doctor sends them to sleep. The doctor asks his brother to take care of his sister. Dr. William was now about to perform experiment on Claire. While sleeping, Claire Akin notices the weird face girl. She was standing in a corner of her room. She is shown dreaming. Now she has grown elder. What has happened in Claire's childhood we will see. Gradually it is shown she has gone far from the city of always. After elder she doesn't go to growing meet her brother. She comes to Raccoon City while taking a lift from Al truck driver. On their way, the A driver mistakenly has done a grills accident. Due to it, the QRIRL falls down. She becomes injured. Her body starts bleeding. She was alive, so Clave says they have to call the palace. They should help her. Meanwhile, the truck driver says to Claire, "Do whatever you want. I am leaving Fearum here." They were arcing. Meanwhile, the girl stands up and leaves. The Rewaza, the dog, discovers the girl while leaving it. ALSS licks the blonde fallet on the ground when dog along with Hay driver. They see the girl has left. They again move forward. A boy is shown in the next scene who has joined the police. Dirty Teddy today was sleeping at the dinner time. Seeing him sleeping, the present police of Ticker awakes him. Everyone was making him because it was his first day after all this. A kill police officer don't fake them seriously. They are GEAOD partners. The boy notices the lady serving the food in the canteen. Her stranger, her eyes were bleeding. He asks her how this happened. Byt. The lady also doesn't know this. How she was bleeding? He notices a crow who has become a zombie. They didn't understand see my thing and they more to their duties was his night duty. That's why he fun of to him says we're exes. The driver is shown in the next scene. He drops Claire at her brother's house. He was leaving. Meanwhile he notices his dog is lolting sick. The eyes of his dog were also bleeding. The dog bites the diva after it. He legvis with his truck. Claire is shown knocking at her brother's house but Nain opens the door. She notices a next door house from her brother's house. There was Akid and his mother in that house. They were watching her from the window. Weirdly the mother of the kid was bald. Her clothes were als lootering. Strange. Claire moves inside while opening the door with a lagger. She notices her brother has become a police officer. Her brother arrives who was touting shower. That's why he doesn't open the door. He asks Laris how lows she come inside. She tells she has opened the door with a tea knife. He was angry with Klein because she didn't contact his ever. Claire shows him a video tin which a man told that the citizens are in danger. The virus has been spread in the water of that BYT. Claire's brother doesn't city believe her. She tells him about the accident that happened on the way. He says why she didn't inform the police. He says he is a police officer. He doesn't have time to listen to her. The doctix is show with her daughter and White in the next scene. The Dodor receives a call here after it. He becomes depressed. He runs from Raccoon City. He doesn't tell his White what has happened. There was a red alert in the city of everyone was said to stay in their houses, leering the red alert. Clary's brother says he has to leave. He asks CL give to stay in the house. She will not toish his bike. Elaire sees Hey Lady, who was in the nearby house. When she sees outside her hands were soaked in blood, she was writing something in the window. Her son hides in her house. Asks him do the Irid says you will need help. The lady attacks Claire. Stariri escapes there on Tia Brothers. Bilka, Claire's brother, is shown in the police station. In the next scene there Kiet tells them the police team went to the expensive mansion they went for investigation, but they are missing. We aren't contacting anyone now. The chief is sending the other team for searching for them. Dairy remember in that team Claire you want help from. There was a pilot and as well as an officer in this team. He receives a message and Poppin s his locker. He notices message on the phone. HTE has to follow this information to reach the mansion. The Raccoon City will be firm-ished in the morning at by someone has given the secret contract to this officer. He was told to bring the virus Fearum the Manchula in return. He will be given a lot of money. The officer doesn't tell this to anyone. No team officer has this intimation. The doctor is shown in the next scene. He was manger. He tells his White they have ruined his life's hard work. Meanwhile, Claire arrives in front of him on the bike. She recognizes the doctor, but maybe this doctor doesn't know Claire. Clay sees a lady in the Ferramt house. She was a zombie. G. Gadiali the truck driver is shown on another side. The virus has GLSA affected him. His eyes were also damaged along with his dog. He takes his truck to the police station due to it. The truck set on fire after colliding. As he reaches THE station, his Beatty is set on fire. The police officer doesn't understand GNY thing after seeing him changing into that. What should he do? The Atta police officers discovers everything. Tay asks the FF ISA to lock the gate while blowing at his F fire so none will come in sight. This DF ISA alcd kinaus. The Gotna people are turning into zombies in the city, but he didn't telephone anyone about this. He was aining alone while taking all the things. Meanwhile, the other police officer can't handle it alone. Even then he leaves while dropping him Alan. When the officers reach the border of the city, the guards were there. They were hot letting anyone out of the city. They ask the FF ISA to says he go back. They when he doesn't re his car BATK. That's why the police Micah has to come 7 back to the police station. Akin he discovers all the zombies at the palace station's gate. He groisto party the car and he notices the dog in the car parking. The dog OT the truck driver and also become a zombie. It surrounds the officer. Meanwhile, Claire arrives. She saves the Otisa. Later they discover many zombies at the gate. They were pushing the GAT. After some time, their great breaks. The team is shown in the next scene. They come to the Manslon and find the old teamer's car. It was in a bad condition. That's why the new Tem Bhas Bant be sent with full protection. Or her amaring Frasawasdi. They notice -9 zombie. He was wearing the Dector's Kota. He was EGTINQ. That team's officer. The FF ISA ends the zombie T. Moving forward, They see the officer was still alive whom the zombie WAA-4 officers make proofs of Tui and FF Isa who was a pilot was sitting in the helicopter. A zombie bites him there. The FF Isa who QRET the message. To search the virus he starts playing the piano while coming inside after it. A secret door opens there. It is shown when the zombie bites the pilot he leaves while flying the helicopter. He couldn't fly at a distance with the helicopter. The helicopter crashes in the mansion. The lady police officers saves the other officer. Now the officer moves forward while following his PDI. The lady police officer asks him what is it? He tells her he was assigned a task in return. He WHL get a lot of money. He don't know who are they? It doesn't matters to him. He just want the money. He can do anything for money. Hearing this, the Lady Palace office comes in anger. Meanwhile, a zombie was about to attack the Lady Palace officers. The officer saves her later. He escapes while leaving her alone. After it, many zombies are shown attacking officers in which Claire's brother and the other FF Isas were included. The other Tisas were ended. Claire's brother was saved. Claire's brother moves forward while fighting with two zombies. Meanwhile, the lady police officer arrives. She saves him. She tells him an officer has left. Everyone is ended. That's why they have to leave from there. Later, they stand from there. The man is shown in the next scene who told about that virus. The man was kept in a locker. He asks the officer to open it. He snatches the foot Isa's kun when he doesn't open the locker. As the Tisa opens the locker, a zombie attacks, and bites him. He was locked with him. The zombie attacks the officer. Meanwhile, Claire arrives. She saves the Aftisa. When Klavcha discovers the man has died, Wa has all the information about the virus. She fears Sade because he was the only one knows very thing about the virus. Now they search for the way to move out from there. Claire knows the story of the virus has started from this corporation. There must be something FFOM which the people will run. FFROM. He's the police officers who was bent with a. Claire also sees the girl whose body was ruined. Df the failed ES experiment. She was the girl who Claire has seen in the childhood. She had handuits. She was locked here. Quen ota samani years. Like animals, everyone has escaped from there. Meanwhile, the girl's body was ruined. She asks the police officer to keep quiet. She points towards upside. Even then the Stisa calls his companions. Meanwhile, a zombie arrives and lifts his companion upside. That was a Sangaris 2 zombie and immediately eats him. After it, the zombie attacks them. The girl SQVES them. That was a Dangerois 2 zombie. Maybe same experiments has been done on it. Animal. This zombie has a long tongue. It can. Maybe it was a zombie of any pull anyone towards it with TS tongue. Even it eats anyone in Q few second. Now the kill who XWASL0CKED here since many years on whom the experiments were D1. She fight with that zombie. She ends it when Clace talks to her. She recognizes him. He give her a key of a secret lock to move out. Fearum here. Reaching there, Claire was Reem bearing her bad memories moving for WAED. She finds projector. These was a video on it that was sitting with her twin brothers. Gerd. Maybe the doctors have made this video before the experiments later. She finds a file. There was the name DT. The kids on whom the experiments were due. Since today she tear all the files in anger. The doctor is shown in head. Next scene, he has come in the lab to take the virus's sample. A girl has tied there. There were many was still glive. She was in her senses. Suts hes body. She was breathing difficulty. The doctor's wife and daughter get scared seeing her. The doctor's wife asks him to leave from there. Dr. Wilhelm like this. Meanwhile, The Officer who says I will not go while leaving you in Virus's Shegurchalago arrives there. He also come here to bring Varese. The doctor is shown firing at the officer. The officer also shoots the doctor due to it. Dr. William was about toddy before dying. He asks for the vitus. His wife tries to end the officer after giving him the virus. The Tices shoots at her head directly. She dies immediately. The Dectuses Dorty was sealing all this. The Dactors Dork Hter hides firstly, but then Lachey beats the Ficer from behind. The officer was about to end the doctor's daughter. Meanwhile, the lady police Ficer ends that officer. The girl don't want to end him, but she has to do this. The officer Kinau this, below Diange he give her the address of, and there is only a way to move out of this city. They have to leave Betory B. From here this city will be finished at Ea Bam. They move toward the train Fromathia as they try to mo fram there. Drp William changer into a dangerous zombie. It is shown der William has injected that vitus's ingedion. That's why he turned into a dangrois zombie. They were yunning trom a narco way. They move from there, but Delaire's brother couldn't move out from there. Now William was behind Claire's brother. He wanted to end Kim. He was about to end him. Meanwhile, Clary asks she took her childhood's revenge while ending Willem when she says stay away from me Bratha Drive. William also remembers they are the Tids who were in the childhood. Later they reach to the train. They somehow start the train. They weren't out o the Raccoon at. It was Bon, the clock, and there was Ahuge blast in the underground train mansion. It spread in the whole city. The people in the train can hear the blast's voice. They notice William returns after being a huge monster. He holds Claire after coming there. Claire has a knife in her hand. With it she attacked William's eye. He leaves Claire Leela. He moves forward to her brother. Claire's brother fires at him. Bite. It doesn't affect the monster. His bullet were finished. Meanwhile, another Spicer arrives. It flies the Dr. Williams monster with the help of Rachet launcher. The city remors in a minute. They escape from there because they were in a underground train. Fingley. This movie ends here. The story S Raccoon City ends in the last. They all escape from there. The story ends here.